I mean, think about that. You have, and we'll see who wins the MVP this year. We know it's a popularity contest because if it wasn't, then Nikita Kucherov would have won it last year, not Nathan McKinnon. But I don't know if there's a defenseman that's had a better year than Zach Werenski, American. There's certainly not a goalie that's had a better year than Connor Hellebuck, American. What more can you ask for? That's the type of play that is going to win you games like this and win a tournament like this. I cannot wait till Thursday night. It is going to be freaking nuts. You think it was jacked up on Saturday night? Now a championship's on the line. And don't tell me it's meaningless, right? Howie Rose, longtime guy with the Mets. I have a lot of respect for the guys that have come before me when it comes to broadcasting. But he tweeted something out today trying to compare what's going on with the Kachucks and Charlie McAvoy with what happened with Edwin Diaz for Puerto Rico when he got banged up celebrating. And saying that, it sucks to see that in a meaningless game. I'm sorry, Howie. With all due respect, it's not meaningless. Not meaningless at all. These guys are going out there and representing their country. It means, you think Edwin Diaz regrets playing for his country? Not a chance. Of course you regret what happened. And yeah, it sucks if things like this happen. I mean, it happens in soccer when there's more international competitions than any sport. They do it in the middle of the season every single year. It's the nature of the beast. But to say that games like this are meaningless, you tell the Canadian players that it's meaningless. You go tell Matthew and Brady Tkachuk that it's meaningless. Not a freaking chance, bro. Not a chance. This game means, what about the guys that'll never play in the Stanley Cup final? Right? For Matthew Tkachuk, yeah, okay, he just won a cup last year, won games. What about his brother? His brother's never even made it to the playoffs. This is the biggest game that he's ever played in his entire life. You're telling me that's meaningless? Guys that have never made it to the Stanley Cup final, that may never make it to the Stanley Cup final. This may be the biggest game that they ever play in. What are you talking about meaningless? Just because we put so much of an onus of club over country here in the U.S., don't sit there and demean what this game means to the players that are involved. What a tone-deaf statement. Are you kidding me? Saturday night, I was at a party, and any other night, we'd be watching the NBA. The TV probably wouldn't even be on. But everybody was locked in to U.S. and Canada. Everybody was freaking out. Go check social media. People that have never typed in the word hockey on their Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, were all enthralled by what that game was all about. It wasn't just the fights. That set the tone, but it was 60 minutes of guys leaving it all out there and playing for the crest on the front of their jersey and not the name on the back. We should probably have a little bit more of that when it comes to sports, when it comes to life. People giving more for something bigger than themselves. So to sit here and use an example of a freak accident, of a celebration, to demean what these guys are doing on the ice, not meaningless. Not a chance.